Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing God of War 3 on Chaos difficulty, and this is my no upgrade run plus. Yes, I am restarting it. Why? Well, one in-game issue thwarted me and derailed the guide, but I also had an issue with a family member. I've been dealing with post-surgical complications since February, and did a lot of rants actually in the latter videos, which were never unprivatized. But suffice to say, those two issues combined made me rage to the point where, well, it was just the in-game issue, the Scorpius boss fight. I played him for 6 hours and I couldn't beat him, and what ended up happening is my PS4 controller got destroyed because I smashed it. Now I don't have one anymore, so I'm using the PS3 controller whilst waiting for my PS4 controller to come that I had to order to replace it. I don't take my anger out on people, but I do on controllers, evidently. So we're going back with this guide. I don't expect you to trust me or have any kind of trust that I'll not delete the guide again, but I won't, because I have this game in my veins. I'm obsessed. I have a vendetta against it, and what I was going to do was upgrade the health and magic, but I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. So you'll see that hesitation in this video because I go and open the item chests, but the point at which you can upgrade your health is right before the 3 judges boss fight, and I actually did with the intent of just calling this a no upgrade run, meaning that I'll upgrade my health and magic. But the overwhelming confidence that a lot of people have in me, you know, even on Twitter. If you want to see, I posted a video on Telly. Any random videos I post on Telly, and if you want to see the bullshit that you deal with the Scorpius, there's a link and you can check that out. But the video that I posted on Telly, it was my mistake. I was just showing you the absurdity of the hit punishment on that boss fight. It is a capricious, arbitrary, badly designed boss fight, but I can't call it unfair because it's just that I mean, there are safe places. I know the safe places to go to, but you have to use the fists, and I'm pretty sure you have to smash all the legs before you get him that second O button prompt. And I will say, you should be able to evade in a different direction. You should be able to evade behind him, maybe. I don't know. It's very bad. And I also feel that the Cerberus breeder boss fight with the 3 satyrs will end up being easier. Now, when I said 6 hours, I mean 6 hours. I started at 10. I didn't go to bed till 4, and then the destruction of the controller took place. I did take a couple of breaks, so it was like it was about 5 hours, but still 5 hours. I couldn't beat him, and maybe I'll have to do another 5-hour session just to get to that same position where I almost beat him. Now on this part, I did this no damage. You want to jump like 4 or 5 times, stun these 2 guys with the triangle button, and they will sometimes grab you. They grab me often, but it doesn't damage you. So when you go about 4 times that way, head back here, and that is the square button stun kick. And you can transition that into the grab, which has iframes, and then turn around and take these 2 guys out. You can stun them the same way we did with the first guys. It takes 7 swipes with the triangle button to kill 1 guy, and you'll see the hit counter go up to 14 if you're hitting 2 guys that way. But anyway, this is the last wave right here. It's actually convenient when they jump on you because, as you can see, no damage. But if you don't trust that I'll delete the guide again, I don't blame you. I have this game in my veins. It's in my blood. I don't want to play anything other than this. And you know, you might say, well, why don't you just re-upload the videos? I delete the videos when I publish them to YouTube because they just take up too much space. So I'm starting over fresh. The same circumstances. I'm using Hephaestus's rings for the QuickTime buttons to win for me because I loathe them. And you know, some of them, as I mentioned, they don't work. The O button and the shoulder button taps, they don't work sometimes. So you're gonna have to We're gonna have to see which ones those are. So I'm looking forward to this guide. I hope you are too. But I understand if you're a little mistrustful, with the itself capricious way that I deleted the guide. I felt bad. Don't mistake that. I feel bad, and it's my fault. It's nothing anybody did. It's just that I got. I said, just to hell with this. It's over. But now it's begun again, and I can't say if I will delete it again. But I promise as much as I can that I'm not going to. But you've just got to stick with the channel. Some guides, they have growing pains, as I call them. Like, I've deleted the DMC3 guide a couple of times. It just comes with my nature. So you just have to accept that the way I accept you guys. So got a couple of Gorgons spawning in here, and I'm trying not to ram the Hell Fiends into the Gorgon so I don't damage her too much, so that I can have a fair fight with her. And what else? My main complaint about this game sometimes is that but it's frequent, and it's always not always, but it's when you hold the triangle button, sometimes he won't launch himself. You'll be holding it, and he doesn't launch it, and you get damaged because you're counting on flinging yourself up into the air. Now with Ascension, what they did was they don't allow you to launch yourself up into the air unless you make contact with an enemy, which was a big mistake in my opinion, because you're taking away from the mechanics, not something good, but something that was perfectly fine. So, but like in this game and then all the other God of Wars, I don't know what it is with the mechanics, but it doesn't launch, and I know people will agree with me because it doesn't matter what control it is. It happens very frequently. So, what else to say? Yeah, that is a major complaint, the way that doesn't work. And I am finding that the PS3 controller is not as comfortable as the PS4 controller. So, just through the nature of how I'm redoing this, I will be repeating things. I'm going to try to not go on too many rants, although people do like those, and I like those too. I mean, if something deserves a rant, I will rant about it. But I haven't seen many people doing this. I mean, personally, I don't seek out, on that boss fight. I was looking for help. I did look on Shinobi's playlist, and I saw him doing basically the same thing I was doing. I'm not using that guy's guide as a blueprint. The only videos I've seen of his are the Scorpion boss fight and this Armored Cyclops is ×7 with the other Cyclops right before. It's like the main fight right before the Scorpius boss fight. So up here we have Prometheus. We will get the upgrade. I've skipped that cutscene so you guys won't have to watch it.
Keep it away from me.
But I truly love this game. It's not my favorite, but it's obviously the best looking. It just seeps into your veins, and it's an obsession with me now. I've got to clear this. I've got to stand true to the handicap prescription that I've prescribed for myself. I just didn't feel comfortable upgrading my health and magic. I know I have it within me. It's fucking tough. And for those people who say it's not tough, well, I understand that if you've already done it and you've completed it and you don't think it's tough, but if you've never attempted it, I don't think you really have any firm footing to make a statement like that. However, there are a lot of good players. I'm also curious to know who has cleared Switchblade and who has cleared Hades Kids 2. So if you have cleared either of those two, you're a legend in my opinion, because I've cleared those and they're really excruciating. So perhaps if you have cleared those, and please don't lie, you can leave a comment and we can upvote those comments to see who's done it. And then I'm just curious to know who's done it, because those are very difficult trials of exile. So this guy is an old favorite from God of War 2. We've seen him. He does that which you can deflect back, although we can't parry physical attacks in this game, but you can the non-physical. If you get too close to him, he'll try to scratch you with his claws. He also has an attack where he will kind of stomp on you in a quick time event, and it's easy to get out of it. What else to say? I'm not making this unnecessarily difficult as far as not opening chests. It's not a pain run, where it's not a no relic run or anything like that. It's just a regular run where I don't upgrade anything, and that includes the health and magic and the item meter, which is the yellow one. We'll get it right after we obtain the Bow of Apollo. And on the Scorpius boss fight, it wasn't so much that it wasn't really because I had low health. It's just because, bam, you're dead for this, bam, you're dead for that. You're in the wrong place. You can't move away quickly with that fucking hop that he does with that weapon, because if you don't know, every weapon, it's linked with a particular evade, and the only one you could speed up is the one with the Blades of Exile. So when you kill all those guys, we get the Bramble, and we can go get these chests over here. So basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to get as many orbs as I can as a personal goal. If you notice right there in that transition of opening the chest, my orb count went up by 5. It's because this is a different take. So we're going to slay this guy here. Light that up and then go get this, because I didn't get this the first time. The first guide. So I have dedication. It's just that I get frustrated and I delete things. I'm a fastidious person, and I'm not making excuses for it, because it's actually a little embarrassing. But like these here, you see these, I'm getting them, and I thought to myself, I will just upgrade the health and magic, but trust me, I'm not going to be. Okay, so now we're going to come over here, light the Bramble up, save our progress, kill a couple of stray souls, smash vases. I love this game. I mean, everything about it. There's nothing that even remotely resembles this game. I was looking for stuff on the PS4 store, and all I saw were ads for Destiny. Then I looked on Amazon trying to find new games. Just Destiny. Fuck Destiny. I hate those types of games. And like when this came out, like Ascension, I didn't see an oversaturation of advertisements. And then I even considered playing NAC, but I didn't want to spend $40 for a mediocre experience. And something interesting about that game, I was watching gameplay of it, and they even addressed it in the reviews. The particle effects when you destroy scenery or enemies, they disappear right away. Like the game, well, not like, it's because the game can't handle that extra data being on the ground. Do you know that in Ninja Gaiden 2, all of the bodies stay on the ground in the environment until you either die or save it and reload and then restart? Do you know that? You can have an entire level, as far as what they've opened up, as long as you don't go to a different part of the map that closes off one part of the world. You can have an entire level full of dead bodies all over the ground, and that game had no problem with that cleaning up that a game like NAC has to do, and it makes me sad, really sad. That like that game when it came out, Ninja Gaiden 2, it was barely, the console wasn't that old, and we're talking about NAC on a brand new console that can't even handle extra effects on the ground. Like, Like, you destroy a box, it'll do the animation, but then it will all disappear. So, talk about pathetic. Just, I don't think we're going to see many good games. I mean, it seems like it's the hardest thing in the world just to make a good game. Now, if you like Destiny, that's your own deal, and I don't want to get into it, but you know my contempt for first-person shooters and first-person perspective as it is. And I look at a game like this, it's so great. So great. And I think the reason why they made Ascension was the same reason why they made Arkham Origins. It's just a game to tide us over until the next game made by, in the case of Warner Brothers Montreal, they did it, and they didn't do a very good job with it, actually. Speaking from personal experience, my game glitched. I had a game-breaking glitch, and I had to wait until they could patch it. But with Ascension, same studio. I don't know if Cory Barlog is going to do God of War 4. That's what I heard. But I know Todd Pappy was the executive director of Ascension. And so we're just biding our time, aren't we, until we can get a good game. God of War 4, let's bring it on. Make it very difficult and good and long. Because I don't even care if there's no story. Just have a long campaign with good mechanics and a lot of good fights. You want to tell a story, go for it, but it's not essential. I just think this is the quintessential brawler hack and slash adventure. I can't even express how much I love this game. So right there, what I did was I actually defeated this, and then I got that upgrade right there, which is a Gorgon Eye, and it upgraded my health. And then I said, I can't do it. I'm going to have to restart and abide by the rules. So, the 3 judges' trials. It's divided by a checkpoint in each instance. And the first conceit is that we're going to have souls falling from what I presume is purgatory, and they are going to turn into the wandering souls after they get grabbed by the Hades arms, which will come up presently. So I try to extend my combo here by doing swipes of these guys and then grabbing foes. Grabbing the arms. The arms can be pretty quick to swing at you, so watch out for that. But as you can see in that little transition right there, it keeps your combo, which is really nice. So just keep grabbing the arms. The arms give you the standard red orbs, the citizens. They'll always give you health, as do the souls. So this is conceit number 1. Conceit number 2 will have one of these souls wandering into the gates, which I guess is some kind of a portal, and turning in them into one of Hell's minions. After which, they'll turn into a Minotaur, and you only have to you only have to slay one Minotaur, but you'll be facing a lot of the other smaller enemies that you can grab. And on these instances where it's not too difficult, like the protect the chain sequence, where it's absolutely necessary and crucial to do the collision with the Minotaurs via a grabbable foe, what I try to do is I try to grab the ones that you can actually grab and throw, but I don't try to use them as battering rams, because that it depletes the health of the Minotaurs, and it's not as fun, because then when I go to slay the Minotaurs, they're almost dead. Now, in the endurance fight near the end of the game, that's going to be a very crucial strategy if I get there. But here's the Minotaur. What I do is the 5 square 3 triangle combo, which is the triangle combo. that you can do in every game. Even Ascension retained it, good old Ascension. But essentially, since we're never going to be upgrading beyond level 1, not only can we not parry, but we can't do the triangle combo. Not that combination, but we can, if you input 5 squares right before it, you can actually mimic it, as I stated before, and it's very helpful. And if you want to get better at this game and you fancy yourself to be very good, but you don't know of that yet, you should definitely try to practice that move. Otherwise, it's actually good that we can't upgrade to level 2, because if I'm not mistaken, at level 2, and this goes with level 3 too, if I'm mistaken about the L1 plus square move, a lot of people detest that move because a lot of people use it when they don't want to, and it's inadvertent because you're guarding and you can't. What you're doing is you're not being able to control the actual L1 plus square attack and cancel out of it, and in that attack you're getting damaged severely. So in this is a heavily guarding game. You guard in this game to preserve yourself. So if you can't do the L1 plus square button, then you can't get into that jam, which is actually really nice. Because we've all been frustrated by that move. We've all been frustrated by Athena's Wrath, which is coming off an evade and trying to instigate the triangle times 3 combo, but getting that flame punch into the ground instead because you don't delay your input of the triangle long enough. And right there is some standard juggling. What was I going to say? This is Conceit 3. What happens here is you're going to get harpies. Basically, it's just, kill everything like it says, destroy everything. Do the grapple grab on these guys, on the harpies, but unfortunately it's targeting them with the Gorgon. So as I mentioned before, when you're throwing the harpies into the ground, like from the air, obviously, you don't get iframes, but when you're tearing their wings off, then you do get iframes. So I was also going to say something other about moves, but it looks like I forgot it. I'll remember at the second I hit the end button on the recording. So okay, so we've got the bull. You can drop magic if you want to get rid of him. Or drop magic. We will get more magic back, and then we'll want to take care of this with the quick time buttons, and then we'll have more harpies spawning and another bull. So your priority should be the harpies because they are the most problematic. They deal more damage than the bull does, which is inconceivable in my opinion, but fortunately we had the stone stare freeze all the harpies for us, and then there's just that last guy for us to finish up. But I want to thank everybody for watching the guide. Thank you for sticking with it. Just humor me a little bit, please. And I will see you in video 2. Take care now.